Welcome to the Feel Better, Be Better show. Today, Kate and Nevada will answer your questions and introduce new topics designed to help feel better and be better. These are raw conversations, but they will make a difference.
Hey everyone, welcome back to KNeticx F3B podcast that we're going with. All right, shirt's still being made, so that's why I'm in this old shirt. But hey, I'm doing what I can. Today, let's see here. We're going to tackle Miracle Morning, right?
Miracle Morning.
Ooh, okay.
My favorite.
Yeah, well, one of my favorites too.
Yeah.
That's why we're talking about it.
Yeah.
So, let's see here. If you don't know anything about that, so Hal Elrod, he wrote a book, Miracle Morning. I have recommended it to very many people. And in this scenario, we're going to go through the parts that we like about it, the things that we find really neat. We'll probably get into some more personal conversations, hopefully not too much. But I think the whole thing for me is I'm going to kind of introduce this. I've done it for years. I've really enjoyed it. I highly recommend you check it out. It's a short read. But the big one, the question that I have on this one is, I know why we're covering it. I completely agree with it. I really like that we're going to this route of things. But for me, I know your situation with this, and you wanted to pick this topic as our first topic, which I like. I'm going to give a little history, and that way I can set you up for where you can go with it. But beginning of 2021, you had a lot of life changes and things happen. And just the nature of the way the world is, we seem to have a lot of people that don't have a direction. We have a lot of things we want. We have a lot of things that we think we need. And you don't really, but a lot of people are kind of like, it's almost like I go to work and I do this to make money to buy this. And in what I think Miracle Morning really does is it really sets you on a path of like, I want to do this. And it really helps you map out the steps you want to do to take that. So when you were going through that, I was being, a friend of just kind of laying back, letting you handle stuff and everything like that. But when you were kind of looking like you were coming out of it, I said, all right, I want you to read this book. And I beg you to just try it for a month. I know some of the stuff may seem dumb, may seem kind of like I don't really care, but I was like, just please try it. Give me a month on it. After that, you can do whatever you want. And you ran it, and we've seen some pretty interesting changes for the positive, I would think. So to me, I kind of want to just hear your take on the book and how it affected you and the parts that you really like. And I think we just have a conversation here about it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, sure. Like you said, 2022 was a lot of huge changes in the beginning of January for me. Leading up to that point, I feel like it was a lot of struggle between finding clarity of the things I was good at and what I wanted to pursue in life, and then also balancing those around me and their needs as well. So it's an easy trap to kind of fall into, and I feel like I'm really bad about going too far in the direction of others than myself. So when 2022 hit, I went through a divorce and had to navigate all of that. And we started kind of heavily planning some business stuff here with KNeticx and getting everything kind of laid groundwork-wise to start that in February. And it gave me an opportunity to really look at what do I want? What clarity do I need in my life to move forward to pursue my goals? Not just for myself in business, but even like who I want to be with, how I want to raise my kids, social life, friends, all of that. Mm-hmm. Just finding what I truly wanted, not what others expected of me, and I just was going to fall into line with that.
Yeah, I mean, you could easily see where, you could just see it personally where you really flipped a switch. It was kind of like, I want to do this, and I want to do it this way. I know I need to get these steps in place and all of these things. Which made our conversations very interesting because I know you've seen that out of me for, well, probably since you've known me. But, I mean, that's not something other people have. It seems more random. And I know plenty of people that think that everything I do is totally random. But you know me long enough that you know there's actually a little bit of method to madness in it, which is actually kind of scary. But what parts of it do you think really equal out to you? I mean, we're not going to do like a book report here and go over every single thing. If you want to get it, if you want to know, go get the book. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's everywhere. But what do you find that it really helped you out with?
I think the biggest thing for me was taking the time in the morning, which I thought I would absolutely hate because I not necessarily not a morning person, but getting up early enough with my current job at the time to be able to do the miracle morning was like 5 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, I don't know that I want to do that every day.
Mm-hmm.
And actually it became kind of addicting. But I think just having the structure and the time to go through something for myself and find a way to breathe and visualize through things and set myself up for success for the day really helped me be calm and focused and figure out what steps I wanted to take moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's kind of the biggest takeaway that I took from it is I just felt like I was so much more grounded going forward in my day when I would do it.
Well, yeah, you start out your day with like a path. It's I'm going to do what they tell me to do in that. So I'm going to do the meditation, the exercise, the affirmations, whatever. I mean, but that's what I'm going to do. So you're starting off with that. But the biggest thing is, I mean, like the visualization, the meditations and stuff like that is giving you a vision for that day that you can back build into the fact that I'm like, okay, well, today I'm going to do this, and tomorrow I'm going to do this, and this I'm going to do this. So, I mean, it kind of gives you the map that you need to, like, get forward on what you're doing.
Yeah. Well, in being a mom of a young kid, you don't get a lot of time to yourself to think of anything for yourself or plan anything without any interruptions. Having 30 minutes to an hour in the morning to myself to think about the things that I would like to accomplish throughout the day and set myself up for success helped me be so much better that when my daughter got up, then I could focus attention on her, and I felt like I've already filled that tank for myself moving forward.
Yeah, I find it hilarious. I've never known anybody, I really don't know anybody that said that they're a morning person before they would do something like this.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, I'm not a morning person. I can't get up, I can't do this or whatever. But as soon as you find something that you're going to do, it's amazing. You're just like, wow, I really am a morning person.
Yeah. I mean, even on the weekends, it was like, no, I don't want to take a break from it because I feel it. I don't feel grounded. I don't feel like I'm set on the right path. I feel groggy. Like, you feel it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it changes everything that you do. I mean, because you're set on that mission.
Yeah.
So, I mean, from there, I mean, we've had plenty of things where it's worked out that people are just like, you've done what in how much time? I mean,
Yes.
Because me and you are both probably doing that, but it's taught us also to be able to share like, okay, well, I need to get this done to go here, and I need to get this done to go here. And yeah, nothing ever works out to plan, but we just roll with them because we're like, that's the next step. We got to do the next one and we'll move on to this. I mean, prime example, we're not set up at all to be ready to do all these podcasts or shows or whatever, and here we are
Just
recording one.
Going with it.
We're just going to do it. Might as well.
I will say the other thing I really noticed majorly from starting all this is, yeah, people knew that I worked hard and I did good at a lot of things, but just the amount of people within like a month or so that noticed like just a complete and different change in my confidence level was through the roof. I had so many comments, and it was like, oh, I really don't necessarily feel like I'm that much more confident or feeling the flow of things. I mean, yeah, I felt like I was doing stuff and getting stuff accomplished a lot better, but like people made so many comments about it.
Oh, you mean that whole thing of like, well, you're so intimidating.
Yeah, which is like the first that I've ever got that.
And that's when you're kind of like, well, yeah, it's these muscles that I got, yeah. And they're like, no, it's something else. And you're like, oh, you mean because I know where I'm going, what I want to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
That one's interesting.
Also, the first time people, hear, no, that doesn't fit into my plan of what I'm doing, and they're like shocked and offended that, like, no, this is my path that I'm going on, and this is what I want to pursue.
Yeah. I love how almost everybody I've ever met, they kind of what we're doing, I mean, where we're going, people always are like, how in the world are you ever getting all that stuff done? How? And I could never find that much time. I don't know where you find the hours to get all this stuff done and do all these things and the vision for it and the stuff like that. And ultimately, I would say now that you've gone almost a full year of doing this, you could almost come back and kind of laugh at that and be like,
yeah,
it's not impossible. It's not crazy. It's not just like you're just not sleeping and working all day. You're writing on a map every single morning of here's what I'm going to do today for the next day. And then the funny part about it steers into like you start getting a night routine and stuff like doing that because you had hours before by yourself without your kid and all that stuff and everything, but you didn't have a plan to maximize that for yourself.
Yeah.
Now what you've done is you've flipped the script and said, I'm going to do this plan here and make it work for me.
Yeah. And I mean, that even builds in time to relax and watch a movie or whatever it is, because I know I've already have everything else so thought of ahead of time that I'm not wasting my day trying to figure out what's the next step that I need to pursue. I already know. So I can just do it and then move on after I've got it done and crank it out. Yeah.
All right, well, before we get going on anything else, I want to hit a couple of the pieces of it because I always have some things I try to tell people about them.
Well, can we talk about what each piece is so people kind of know if they're
Sure,
not
go
familiar with it? So with the Miracle Morning, you have meditation, you have affirmations, visualization, reading, exercise, and writing. Those are the 6 pieces to it. And you can go for as little as a minute to 30 minutes, however long you want to do for each of those sections. There's some mornings that when we were doing farmers markets and had to be up here at like 6 a.m., there wasn't time to do a full-length one. So I'd be like, all right, I'm just going to hit everything real quick.
Yeah.
So you can really make it work for you.
Well, I mean, he talks about that in the book. I mean, you don't necessarily need an hour to do this. I mean, if you got 6 minutes, 6 minutes, do it. You have 3 minutes, do it 3 minutes. Just knock yourself out. It's just a matter of that you're dictating how your life is going to be lived. And that's kind of one of the things it gives you.
Yes.
So the first one I'm going to hit on, though, is the meditation. That one always cracks me up because I've never met anybody that really, truly tried meditation that ever came out and said, yeah, I'm just not good at meditation. Everybody else, they do it like once or twice, and they're like, it didn't do anything for me and stuff like that. So I know when you did it, I kind of told you, I was like, trust the meditation, do it for a week. You got to almost train your body to go into that whatever, like Zen state or that calm state, whatever. You have to learn how to do it. It's even me. I mean, I've been doing it for years, and if I'm out of practice, it'll take me 3 or 4 or 5 days to where I get a benefit out of it. So, I mean, that one in particular, I try to warn people about.
Yeah, a lot of times, too, like when I would start into it, my mind would so easily wander.
Yeah.
So I would be like feeling it, deep breathing, focus on my breathing, and I try to focus on just what's around me and notice it without analyzing it, because that seems to help me from just like, whoop, off into a whole new thought. But then I'd be sitting there and be like, oh yeah, what am I doing for dinner? No, I'm meditating.
Yes.
And so it's really easy to do. Even now, there'll be times if I've got too much on my mind, I've got to really like slow down and breathe and think about, just being in the moment. But yes.
Yeah, the mantra has really helped for me on that one. I mean, and I'll be doing it, and the next thing I know, I'll be like, well, it sounds good for lunch. No, meditation. Just, I mean, and again, I'm practiced at it. Yeah. So, I mean, that's the whole thing is that you got to be. But when I've been doing it every single day for like a month, I mean, I'll almost snap right into it real fast. Because, I mean, it's just like I know I'm checking out, and I'm going to focus on just kind of getting my body right centered.
Yeah, and you'll lose track of time.
real quick. Yes. Let's see here. The other one's affirmations. Always my favorite. Do you want to take this one?
Well, affirmations just seem like
the corniest thing?
The corniest thing ever. Like, I'm going to tell myself I'm great.
Yeah.
I'm the best person ever. I can do anything. So you're like, really, is that going to help? But there's so much science behind how it rewires the brain because we have so many negative thoughts in our day. If you can make some of those positive, it makes a huge difference in how you live the rest of your day and how you view what's going on. And, I mean, I've noticed I feel like I'll tell myself, I'm a confident person. I'm whatever. And then I feel more secure in that role. Like I'm not pretending, but it feels more natural. Like it is a part of me.
Yeah. I mean, I know what I did in mine, and I really felt a big difference was when I basically said, more of like, I am this type of person. Mm-hmm. And that's when I started seeing a lot more changes because it's almost like you're like, no, you're going to be this type of person.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, if you got a temper or whatever or something like that, you're going to be like, no, I'm going to pause and wait and accept people and come back at it later.
Yeah.
That's who I am. I am a calm person, even in the sight of craziness. Maybe that's your thing, or if you're trying to quit smoking or something like that or whatever, I'm a non-tobacco person. That's who I am. Not, I will quit smoking today. No. I am a non-smoking person. And it's just weird how it works. I don't know why. It's the weirdest thing to me.
That is an important distinction that it is very much you are, not I will be. Mine, when we were starting all this stuff, was I am a sociable person. People will like me.
Gosh darn
anybody who knows me from the beginning, I'm very quiet and was not necessarily the best at like going out and having conversations with people. But how many people have I had to talk to in the last year?
Yes, I literally get like daily
So
updates. I talked to 4 people today, and I'm like for real, or like did you send them an email?
Gold sticker chart.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. What you got? Any other ones you want to make sure you cover?
I think the biggest one for me that's helped and the hardest for starting was visualization. We had several discussions on that because I'm like, I don't even know where to begin. Like, I don't know what to pick. I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Oh, I remember
and I was
this
trying,
conversation.
yeah, and I was trying to just do it in my head. I'm like, I don't even know. I just sit there and I'm like, I need to visualize something and I don't even know what to visualize. And so we talked about getting a notebook, writing down some bullet points of some ideas. And at the beginning, it was just as simple as like, what values do I want in friendship or relationship? Or how do I want my parenting style to look or my house to look? Or what kind of things do I enjoy in my job? And it just kind of expanded from there to like, okay, I want to do X. Now, what projects do I need to visualize will get me to there? And then breaking them down. So.
Yep.
That was huge for me.
Me and you had multiple conversations on this because visualization is like breathing to me.
Yeah.
So for me, all right. Well, what do you want to work on? And you tell me, and I go, okay. Well, then what do we want to get? Where do we want to be? How do we get to? And then basically you start flowing backwards from that. Okay. Yeah. So if I want to be where I'm a person that doesn't have anxiety on talking to people on the phone or something like that, well, we got to start getting phone calls. Well, who do you want to call? Which ones are the ones that are comfortable? How do we get to there? And the whole point of his thing is to set out a map of here's how we're going to do that. And you talk to me about it and we would work something out and we do that. And you had, stuff with your kid or sports stuff or whatever we were working on. And after a couple of conversations and you're sitting there like scribbling massive notes, you went from being I can't do visualizations to like there's a whole notebook of visualizations on here, and I just was dying laughing because I'm just sitting back going like all I had to do is like kind of show you the blueprint, and then now you don't even ask me for questions, but I can tell you're doing them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have a whole notebook full. I had to get a new one for 2023.
Yeah, I'm a shocker.
Good problem to have.
Yeah. Let's see here. On exercise, I think that's pretty self-explanatory, but I think the biggest thing I run into early in the morning like that is I just like walking almost. You don't have to always be like, in the gym, breaking down a huge sweat or I kicked out 10 miles or whatever it is that you did. If you did 10 miles in 30 minutes, that'd be pretty impressive. But anyway,
really impressive.
I think the biggest thing on that one is just the act of actually doing something. Even if it's just stretching, which would be great in the morning.
I was going to say I don't even do like an intense exercise routine in the morning just because my body's not ready for it. Personally, for me, and I think part of it is just years of athletics. It's always in the afternoon is when we would do practices and workouts. But for me, just getting up and stretching, maybe doing a little bit of abs, absolutely perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me, I just need stretch. Sometimes getting out of bed is enough for me. So, yeah, I totally understand that one.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Reading, I think that's pretty self-explanatory.
It is.
Just get the mind exercised.
Mm-hmm.
What else we got?
Just journaling. Writing.
Oh, yeah, journaling.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that one's another one that's kind of gets a bad rap.
Yeah.
Still a huge fan of that one, though. And I am absolutely awful at journaling. It's just, whenever I was doing it with him, whenever I'm doing it with the Miracle Morning, I basically am just like, dude, just brain dump. Just whatever is in there, whatever pops in. I almost don't want anybody to see it because who knows what the heck's on those things. But I'm not good at articulation in like words, even though I don't stop talking. But
yeah. And, for those of you, like, I'm not great at coming up with, like, a prompt or what I want to write about or whatever. But there's a lot of great prompts out there. Like, if you Google it or Pinterest it, you can come up with, like, hundreds.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't want to come up with it on your own and be creative, there's a lot of options out there.
Yeah. All right. Any other things on the Miracle Morning you want to hit on?
I guess the one thing that I just was really curious about, because you've done it for a long time, is kind of when you got started, what was something maybe you thought was like, oh, this seems super, like, this doesn't feel like it would help me, but then it helped you the most?
Oh, affirmations. By far.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously it's just not really kind of what, anybody that I know does. It's just nobody nobody pops out of college and like, I'm going to start doing affirmations. I mean, it just doesn't happen. It doesn't matter what gender you are or whatever. I mean, nobody does that.
Yeah. So,
and it just seems so like there's no way that me just saying this is going to do anything.
mm-hmm.
And so to me, that one was probably one of the most shocking. Journaling was way more therapeutic than I thought it would be, but it didn't surprise me. The affirmations surprised me.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird how your behavior started changing. Obviously, we exercise a lot. I do quite a bit of reading. I didn't realize how much I did until I was looking at that and he was talking about it. Exercise. And what else did we have in there? Silence and meditation. I mean, that one surprised me, but then I became so addicted to it. I mean, I'm doing like 3 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that one. But I didn't find it surprising. I just never thought I could do it until he basically told you in there, like, you have to practice at it. So,
yeah.
What about you besides visualization?
Well, visualization was the biggest one. I think outside of that, I'd probably have to say affirmations because it just feels so weird when you start.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like you're like, especially if you've come from a background of not hearing a lot of positive things, it's really easy to be like, okay, I feel so stupid for like talking myself up and telling myself all these things that probably aren't even true. And then, I mean, it just really does make a difference.
Occasionally, just for like shits and grins, I love just kind of like doing stuff that makes no sense whatsoever. You know, just I don't know. I'm trying to think of something super crazy on my affirmations just to see how it almost rewires me. You can almost get to having fun with them.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I got an app that does affirmations throughout the day because they went so well in the morning. And sometimes it will throw ones in there that just crack me up. It makes my day.
Yes.
Like, this is so dumb, but I like it.
Sure. Yeah. I wonder which ones you get. You get like I'm going to be a very thoughtful man or something like that on yours?
No, it tells you get to pick what gender you are.
Oh, okay. That's not fair.
And what you want to focus on, whether it's like body or career or health or whatever. And then it gives stuff like, you are beautiful inside and out. And you're like, thanks, affirmation app.
Yeah, no kidding. Hey, that's really awesome to hear. Thank you for telling me that.
Yeah. You're like, oh, you do care about me.
Anything else on Miracle Morning you want to make sure you cover?
I don't think so, but if you haven't tried it, definitely try it because it's so worth it.
Yeah. I mean,
and if you hate it, don't do it, but definitely try it.
I mean, I'm kind of chuckling that we're going over this. You picked.
I know.
This was the one you picked, and I'm dying laughing because you were literally around me, 3 weeks ago when I recommended it to somebody. I'm like, just try it, just whatever. And I could just see the look on your face like, yep. And you just kind of tried to reinforce that person. I'm like, no, he's told you, just do it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that person did. That's not for me.
know.
Just doing what I can to help out.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks to everybody for tuning in. We'll be back with another episode sometime
in like a week.
We're working on it. Yeah, we're trying to get all the stuff mapped out so it's not just thrown together. It's super random.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you for watching. Kate and Nevada hope you've enjoyed this show and found it useful and empowering. If you have any questions or comments, please contact them at KNeticx.com. That's KNeticx.com. They're on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok as well. And please write a review of the show. Kate and Nevada appreciate hearing the feedback, and they welcome your reviews, and your word of mouth will help others learn how to feel better and be better.